All right. The next speaker, I'm actually not going to introduce. I'm going to have Eric introduce our next speaker. So, Eric.
Thanks, Sam. Are you guys having fun?
Yeah!
Are we fighting?
Yeah!
Okay, again, guys, my name is Eric Rohde, and I'm a proud member of Washington 3%. We're a citizens group. We are fighters. We work in political spheres. We do everything. We unite. We serve our communities, and it's a blessing to be a part of it. I want all you guys to find out about it. You can find us at Washington3%.org. Okay, our vetting is open. I need freedom fighters. Do I got freedom fighters out there? So I'm going to introduce the next freedom fighter. This is Mr. Matt Marshall. He is a board-certified physician's assistant. He is retired military from the 81st and 101st Airborne, and he is the founder of Washington 3%, Mr. Matt Marshall.
Thank you, Eric. Wow, what a great turnout. It seems like we've been here just a few times because of this dictator we've got. So I'm going to start with going into a little bit of history. Who knows who Caligula was?
Yep.
Gaius Julius Caesar? Yep. Did you know that he was actually one of the most loved Caesars initially, until he got ill? Before he got ill, he cut taxes for his people. He promised to continue to do that and be loved by the people until he got sick. And when he woke up, he crushed the people with taxes. He started spending frivolously. He started extorting senators. He had a quote. His actual motto towards the end of his reign was, "Let them hate so long as they fear." Yeah. So, why am I saying that? I'm saying that because right now we live in Washington State and we have a dictator. Our dictator right now doesn't seem to care what the people want. He does not care. And people are complying because they're fearful. They're not afraid necessarily of him, but the people are afraid of this virus. And they go ahead and they just listen to what he has to say. And why do they do it? Because he says it's science. Yeah, well, he and I can put our resumes up next to each other and see who's got more science background and ability to tell you what is safe and what is not. People are obeying these proclamations regardless of what it's doing to them. Teen suicide in King County is up 30% since the lockdown started. All right? We've had suicides, mental health issues going through the roof. We have more people depending on the state than we've ever had in the history of this state. They are intentionally trying to crush our economy so they can create a socialist state. And they're not even hiding it anymore. We've got bills being introduced for, basic universal income? They're not hiding. They're out in the open now trying to institute socialism. So, one thing that we all need to remember is the science is actually showing us that we have over a 99% survival rate. So, got that. Okay. Anyway, this man that's sitting up here, our dictator, has unilaterally taken control of not only the executive branch with his proclamations, but he's taken control of the legislative branch, taking out all of our legislators' ability to actually represent the people. And instead, he's leaning on the four corners under force and getting everything extended.
We want a special session.
We do want a special session. What's even worse than this is he's sitting and using the judicial branch, wow, I'm having problems right now, with the tyrant Bob Ferguson to provide protection. So, I remember standing here back in March and then again in April, right over here on the steps, and another time on a trailer right here. And we stood out here and we told him we did not accept his proclamations. We did not accept his shutdowns. Well, we also sat here, we asked everybody, or demanded a special session. We demanded a special session. And what were we told by our legislators? That it was dangerous, that it was a bad thing, that somehow it was going to open up taxes so they could tax us harder with the upcoming budget deficit. Well, fast forward 6 months, now they're asking for a special session, which I'm glad. I know we got Jim Walsh out here, and he was one of the ones championing the special session, so I appreciate that very much. But essentially, dictator Jay Inslee has taken complete control of both the legislative and executive branches of the government, and he's doing it with protection of Bob Ferguson in the judicial branch. This is tyranny. This is absolute tyranny. Do you know who else usurped these two branches? There's a famous dictator that did this previously. His name was Pinochet. He took both the legislative and executive branches, and then he created his own laws, and then he took the political opposition and threw them from helicopters. All right? What we're seeing today is not benign. It is something that can become very bad very quickly, and that's why we all need to be here. We need to stand. We need to be ready to fight. So we talked about the previous rallies that we've had here. We brought thousands of people to two of them. Thousands of people out here on the grass. Did we change anything? Unfortunately, we were unable to. We probably would have 4,000 plus people right here, right now, if all of us, or at least 50% of us, weren't removed from all social media under one of the most massive public censorships that's happened in our lifetimes. But we don't win by just coming here with our crowds. We don't win by just working through our legislators. We win when the people of Washington rise up. We rise up not by coming out here and raising our hands in the air and yelling and talking about the tyrant we have. We do it by inspiring businesses to remain open. We do it by protecting and supporting the businesses that stay open. We do it by leveraging our city councils and our county commissions to pass ordinances to allow businesses to remain open if the actual science supports it. Look at Mossy Rock. Mossy Rock just passed an ordinance saying, this makes no sense. This makes no sense. They had 13 flu deaths last year. 13. They have had 2 COVID deaths, and they have had 10 suicides so far. All of last year, they had 3 suicides. The death rate overall is the same. We have saved ourselves from nothing in Mossy Rock. And Mossy Rock is smart enough and brave enough to stand up to this tyrant. And I guarantee you, with them passing this just a couple of days ago, come Monday morning, the Attorney General's office will send his goons in there to threaten them. And we need to be ready, as Americans, as Washingtonians, to stand up and protect that city council. We have Sheriff Bob Songer standing up and protecting the people of his county. He is down there and he is asking them to reach out to his personal cell phone if he's threatened by LNI. He is standing up for the people, and this is what we need. And we need to inspire our neighbors, our friends, our local businesses, everybody to stand up and be willing to support and tell this tyrant, no, I don't care what you said. We are not going to obey.
I will not comply.
Article 1, Section 1 of the Washington State Constitution. All just political power is inherent in the people, and the government derives those powers from the consent of the governed. We do not consent. One of our forefathers said, resistance to tyranny is obedience to God. Nobly defend those rights which heaven gave, and no man ought take from us. So, if you don't know where to start, you don't know where you can step in and rise up and help the movement. Ask. There are people everywhere here that are willing to give you direction. We need to network. We can't use social media anymore. We can't trust it. We need to go between each other. We need to have a network of word of mouth. All right? You want to know where to start? Ask. Right. But all of us together, if we all stand together, we can affect change, and we can, as Washington, rise up. Yeah. Thank you.